Very
All
cool.
right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Land Down Under Hangout for this month's book pick, which was my pick, and it is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Tokuda-Hall. So I'll start by going around and just asking everybody their first impressions or general thoughts. Mel, did you
Yeah, I read a third of it before I ditched it.
tell
Nice.
us your thoughts and why you ditched it?
Good,
Oh
let's do me
no.
first. I ditched it at around about the point when, and spoilers for anybody who's watching, I'm about to hit one straight away, um, when her finger got cut off.
Yeah,
So,
Oh, I thought of you when that happened.
so did
yeah,
I.
Yeah.
this book was already on the extremely dark side, but I was like so excited to read it at the same time. I was pushing through and I was like, I'm going to be okay. It's all right. We could do this. And it kept getting darker and darker. And then he cut his finger off. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'd also just ditched a book where they cut the young protagonist's two fingers off in that one. And I was just like, in a row? Seriously?
That
So,
I found that was the worst bit in the whole book, as far as like graphic and also just um hard to read, I guess. So I don't know if it makes you feel better than like you've already got past the worst bit, but there was one other thing that
probably
I thought was bad, but not as bad as that. But
I
yeah,
probably could have pushed through if I hadn't just gone through it already. So it was just too much by then. So I was done. So I don't think there was anything particularly wrong with the book. It was just not a book for me, slash, not a book for me in that moment. So yeah.
fair enough. Alyssa, I'm just going along with what order people are in on my screen. So Alyssa, you're next.
Yeah, look, I found it somewhat easy to get into, but it didn't really hold my attention that much. I liked certain things about it. I liked the ending. I liked the relationship. Um, this is where I have to admit, I'm not really it's not my genre. It's not my favorite genre. And I recently got a new Kobo reader and joined the library. So it's like I have this list of books and I felt like, oh, I have to kind of fit this in. And I think that detracted from it. It was a little bit of a delightful, little bit of a quirky. It had some good things in it. I just didn't find myself continually enthused. I'll leave it at that.
Naomi.
I really enjoyed it. I smashed it out in like 2 days, three
Oh,
days, listening like just constantly. Um, I I don't know if it was just that this was what I was in the mood for, but I was really vibing the characters. Like, yes, the finger chopping thing was a bit dark, but like generally it was pretty like not, it was dark but not too dark because I'm not like a super dark fan. And there was just enough romance to like keep me going without it being too like outright funny. I really quite enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the relationship between Flora and Eleanor. Like I really liked the way
Evelyn.
that they sort of built up that relationship and then played off one another. Oh, Evelyn, not Eleanor. I apologize. Yes, I really enjoyed it. Very glad we picked this one, or you picked this one.
Shane.
I liked it. I had good fun. Yeah, I also really liked Evelyn and Flora, and I was racking my brains to try and remember Evelyn's name, so I'm glad we just got that out. Um, and I found parts where they weren't on the screen, um, not nearly as grabby. Rake was good, but that section in the middle of the book where they get separated was sort of like, huh, okay, well, this is like a bit gloomy, and where's the cool bands that we were having? But it was a good read. It was no, it was nice. It was interesting, and I liked the world set
Mm.
up. It's good fun.
Karina.
Every time you pick a pirate book, I think, ah, pirates again. And then I end up really liking it. And Mel said it was dark, so obviously I enjoyed it, because that's how we tend to do. Um,
I also really liked that we didn't end up with a sappy, everybody ends up with what they want ending. I always appreciate that. So, yeah, no, I also smashed out like half of this book today. So I think that's probably a good indication of whether or not I enjoyed something.
Chris.
Yeah, no, I reasonably enjoyed it. Not really this this style of book I would normally read, but our main characters were definitely enjoyable to read. I particularly liked Rek's characterization, being torn between loyalty and his past misdeeds. Um, and some of the other little revelations that came out as the book unfolded.
Lisa.
Yeah, I got into it pretty right away. I did a mixture of audio and Kindle. I actually really quite liked the audio reading. I wonder if I got the same one as other
Same.
people, but yeah, I thought it was done really well. I was very moved and affected by particularly Flora Florian's story. And I kind of was drawn in really there. And I mean, Evelyn just, I don't know, she kind of carried me along a bit as well. So yeah, I I was intrigued by the character of Rake, but I was more intrigued and really trying to nut out and understand Zenobia. So yeah, I found her like complex, and I'm still like have questions, you know. um, yeah, particularly the descriptions of her various facial expressions and reactions that Flora Florian that they kind of saw. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I read about 30% of it today because I wanted to finish it for tonight. So yeah, I did enjoy it.
I had planned
For
this.
those of you,
Sorry.
I was just going to say, for those of you who didn't listen to it or didn't listen to any of it, because
I didn't listen to any of it. I didn't do any audiobook, if that's what you mean.
That's
there's
probably good.
one portion right towards the beginning that caught with me. The voice actor said the word Bougainvillea rather than
Oh, I
Bougainvillea.
forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how do you not know what that is?
And they also mispronounced Vauxhall as well. They said
Yes, but like,
forecastle.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up. I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
Catch that.
I mean, that's how it's spelled
But-
out, but that's not how you say it.
all I could think was, what's a Boug? Oh, you mean Bougainvillea, not Bougainvillea. There's no two O's in there. What are you talking about? Sorry,
Every time
Kirsten.
something like that happens, I'm like, is this just an Australianism versus like other countries sort of thing?
Yeah, that's a good point. I've never heard it said that way though. I'm a bit.
No, I know, but I can't.
But I'm
always
sure I've heard it said
second
by
my test
people
myself.
overseas. Oh well. If we have any people actually watching this video, maybe they can tell us. I was gonna say Lisa said she did a mix of audio and physical book. I had planned to do that because I picked up the physical book and I'd only read a little bit of it, and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to get through this in time. So I started listening to the audio. And I thought I'll just do a mix. When when I've got time to pick up the book, I'll pick up the book. And when I've got time for the audio, I pick up the audio. I really enjoyed the audio for the most part. And I just kept going with audio because I liked it. And I mean, it is easier for me to do audio. But if it hadn't been a narrator that I enjoyed, I probably wouldn't have kept going. I would have gone back to my physical book since I had one. But yeah, so it was good. I quite enjoyed it. I'm sure we all know why I picked it. But I had been on my list for quite a long time. At the beginning when I first started reading, I was like, I felt that the prose was too simple. And then that didn't worry me anymore. After a couple of chapters in, I didn't really notice it anymore. So I don't know if that was just that thing where the first couple of pages you're really paying attention to the writing style and going, does this suit me? And after a while, it didn't worry me. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I was surprised by some of the twists. I did quite like Rake as a character because he was interesting, and like I didn't necessarily expect him to be like to end up in the place that he was, kind of thing. So yeah, I enjoyed it overall. I don't have any questions prepared. So I don't know if anybody has anything in particular that they wanted to talk about.
I want to pick up on what you said about the prose being a bit interesting. It was a bit simple because I found that um, at the start, and it kept having that feeling through it. Is there's like something about the way this is written is was not gelling with me easily, and like it was fine. There weren't any things that I could point at that
Yeah.
were, yeah. I think possibly the viewpoint, how much was described of what the characters saw or the particular. Yeah,
I
I
think
can't.
oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was just going to throw in there. I thought maybe I was a little thrown by the no. I kind of wanted some of it to be in first person, and it was all in third person. And I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think that threw me a little bit at times. I don't know if that's what you meant.
I felt it was more like I get what you're saying, Lisa, because I really like first person, which is I think an unpopular opinion because a lot of people don't. But I feel like because there was multiple viewpoints here, it's easier to do that in third. I mean, it's not. I've definitely read ones where they jump from first to first from different characters, but I think
as long as it's not
it
second.
felt like too much was spelt out at the beginning that you could have, instead of saying this character was like this, you could show us how they were by their actions rather than telling us that about them, kind of thing. But I didn't notice it as much once I got into the story. It was more at the very beginning that I was kind of like, it's kind of reading like something I would read a student writing. Like, but like I literally only felt like that way in the first few pages, and then I forgot about it. So it could have just been me being picky with a new book.
That sums up my reaction to it the same as well, is like I feel like Evelyn's point of view was just handed to me on the page, but the characters weren't simplified the way I might expect with that with what I
Yeah,
was picking up, and yeah, no, her relationship to her family was fine and interesting. Like her family wasn't particularly complicated or like nuancedly drawn, but they didn't need to be. They were just the inciting sending her off.
they were way worse than I thought they were at the beginning
They
too.
really were. Yay, twist.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
they were
like,
pretty
God, I thought I
some
already
pretty
didn't
terrible
like him.
parents.
Yes. That was a nice twist when we got to the betrothed and what the arranged marriage was actually about, and that was like, oh right, okay.
Please don't be light on the details. I have no idea.
It did give me Princess Bride vibes, like, oh, I need her to be kidnapped so that we can start a war. And I was like, I think I've seen this plot before. So,
Right.
so the thing, Mel, was that the parents had like been in cahoots with the husband to be, that she was going to be, they knew she was going to get, that the ship was going to sell them off into slavery, and then they were going to use that as an excuse to attack that. I forget all the names of all the countries and stuff, but yeah.
It was collateral damage to incite a war.
They were going
Yeah.
to sell her off to the place with the red sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red.
No.
Sand
Yeah.
was like the only thing I remember.
Oh, not
And
sell her
even-
off. She was to die,
Yes.
having been
Well, I mean,
captured to create
the slaver thing was going to sell her off, and she was going to be killed, and that was going to
So
start
much
a war.
so much so, Mel, that when that didn't happen, her betrothed was still like, no, we can still find a way to get her there and get her murdered. And it was like, holy shit, dude, like, calm down.
Yeah.
There are these very weird couple of chapters where she shows up at the island, the floating islands that she's sent to, and her betrothed is really suspicious and like, you're not really who you say you are, and I would know, blah, 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 and is really mean, and you're sort of like, why is this person reacting this way? Oh, because you had an evil Prince Humperdinck
Also
plot.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Wow.
like they were really like super like, they like the way that they treated ladies seemed very, Victorian England, like, you treat ladies very carefully and gently, like they're little porcelain dolls that could break and blah blah blah. And they were just treating her really roughly, even if they thought that she may have been an interloper. Like it,
Wow.
their society sort of seems like they should have been erring on the side of caution of treating her kindly and gently, just in case she was this lady who was supposed to be lady of the house, and then and sort of anyway. So
But
it's
also drink every time he says interloper.
Yes. The scene when she was in the
like it just
bathtub.
seemed really
Part of that, though, I think, is like the entire portrayal of the Empire is like a caricature of your typical greedy expansionist, nation. Like it's taken to such a ridiculous extent that the individual parties are so invested in conquest and having their little war.
British Empire. Sorry.
What did everybody think about the fact that what was the other girl's name? Except for not a girl, they.
Flora.
Flora Florian
Flora.
or
At the
Flora
end
slash
of-
Florian?
At the
Yeah.
end of
Flora,
the
Flora
email,
slash Florian, yeah.
Flora says, like, is it Evelyn? I forget the other girl's
Yeah.
name.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Starts with
Evelyn.
E. She said to Flora or Florian, do you want me to call you she or he or they? And Flora says, all of those work. I'm happy with any of them. So, like, there's no slipping up with this one, at least. You don't have to worry about correcting yourself because she said herself that she's happy with any of them. So,
Fair enough.
just to
Okay,
give you
so-
that, because you wouldn't have got to that part. So,
No, I did not. And I didn't really like normally when I do something like this, I actually skip ahead and like read the ending or something on those lines. And honestly, I tried and I couldn't follow what the hell was going on. I was like, screw this, I don't care enough.
yeah.
There was
think you
probably
stopped
about
early enough that it
4
would have been
points
like,
you would have
what?
needed, 4 spaces in the book you would have needed to read to understand, like, because there were some
Yeah.
major twists, or some major reveals.
Yeah, I didn't realize like it wasn't even like in that circumstance where I realized what was going on and why I couldn't understand. I was just like, huh? I can't figure this out. Oh, whatever. Now what I was going to ask about
Yeah.
Flora was what did everybody think about having what was represented as a black person participating in slave trade?
I thought it was interesting seeing that on that point of view, like from her point of view, it wasn't as interesting to me as Rake and the other chick who was working for the
Genevieve. Yeah.
Genevieve, yeah.
The dynamic between Rake and Genevieve talking about because
Quark.
Quark.
their
Yep.
country that they came from had been conquered by these colonizers basically, and
Mm.
she'd gone the path of, well, let's just go along with all their stuff and they're helping us to be better, and we should, she was kind of on
He
the
drank the Kool-Aid.
yeah, and he was
Hardcore
like
drank the
really
Kool-Aid.
disgusted by her because of that. But then he was also older and he remembered when the conquest had happened, and she was young and basically born into the land when it was already been conquered. So the one that the dynamic that I found really interesting was that I didn't think about the Flora thing as much, probably due to my own biases and perspectives, but
Yeah, it's more that one's sort of a more of the visuals of it rather than the actual reality of that world per se. It's our world intersecting with that sort of thing, if that makes
I
sense.
felt like that they were talking more about the people from Quark who had pink skin a lot more than they noted the fact that both Flora slash Florian and her brother had black skin. Like, it was only occasionally that it was noted that they were dark skinned or had black skin. And each time I'd be like, oh yeah, that is a character trait of theirs. I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it's not clear that racism exists per se in this culture, and the slavery wouldn't appear to be chattel slavery. It just appears to be
Yeah,
slavery. So
everyone like
the race really fit in.
Fair enough.
yeah, it didn't seem like the people who were specifically slaves necessarily were of a specific race. It was more of a equal opportunity slavery.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got the impression that the the people that were there were like the default people. So like they mentioned the pink skin people and they mentioned Florian and forget the brother's name having dark skin. I think the other people we were meant to imagine as Asian, but I don't know if that's just because some of the cultural
names
and some of the names. Because I don't know if they're actually described physically.
Well, her hair is described as being silky and long and black, and I feel like that was supposed to indicate that she had beautiful silky Asian hair.
Mm-hmm.
And do they have done? Am I right that a few of them have Japanese sounding names? I think
they do. Yes,
they do.
Several. The author has obviously got some Japanese heritage at minimum, and there was kimonos being worn and things along those lines. So.
Yep. References to katanas, several surnames and first names are very clearly of Japanese origin. There's lots of little hints there.
Mm.
The Empire felt both Japanese coded and British Empire coded.
Yes.
Interesting ways.
I got that too.
Yes. Yes. So
felt very much like a combination of the two.
Mm. I wouldn't. What it the I was going to say about was it Lady Arl? What's her name? The one on the boat who turned it out to be the Empire's operative.
I think it was.
Oh,
wasn't it Air?
Yeah.
Oh, Lady Air. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. But Lady Air, like who? I was just wondering how quickly people picked that she wasn't as vapid as she initially came across. How quickly did people pick that up?
I knew something was going on with her, but I didn't pick it to be like the thing where she was in cahoots with the
the
moment.
I think the moment I realized was when she actually shared with Evelyn about the relationship she'd had with Evelyn's mother. And I was like, oh, okay. And at that point I went, okay.
I had even thought maybe she was just lying about that because she saw that Evelyn had feelings for Flora and she was just trying to find an in. I hadn't suspected that she was who she was.
Yeah.
Then I never pick up on stuff.
For the Mel's amongst us, Lady Ayer was Evelyn's chaperone on the ship. Appointed apparently because she was childhood friends with Evelyn's mother, and she turned out to have cool ninja skills, and she and her servant just vanished when the slaving happened, and all the other passengers were turned into prisoners. They could not be found for days or weeks on the ship. And then Rake did find them, and turns out that she was secretly working against the captain. But surprise, surprise, it turned out she was secretly working against Rake and was an agent of the Empire trying to start the war. And to make sure that Evelyn died in the right place in the right terms.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I was disappointed by that because I really liked her, and I was like, especially I was like, oh, she's turning out to be more than we thought she was, and when they were hiding when the slavery stuff happened, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. She's going to take over the ship or something, and then it turns out like she's bad.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she's just an assassin. Oh,
I was disappointed. I was certainly disappointed with the lack of a double cross. Like the fact she didn't double cross the captain, directly was like, oh, come on, you set that up.
Yeah, she double crossed our Rake, unfortunately.
That much I was kind of expecting. I was just she didn't double cross both of them.
Yeah.
I did also have to suspend belief a little bit about them just hiding in the bookshelf. Like they're pirates. They weren't going to check every inch of the room. That bothered me.
Yeah.
Given the revelation that she was, that she'd been plotting it with the captain, it kind of makes a bit more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when it makes sense. That's right. The mermaid stuff was.
At first, I thought they were hiding in a crate or something when they were talking about being in with her corsets, and then they said they were behind in a space behind the bookshelf, and I'm like, but why are you in with your corsets if you're in a space behind the bookshelf? Like that
Because
doesn't make any
it's because
sense.
it wasn't just behind the bookshelf. There was like a hole in the wall behind the bookshelf that was
But the way
hiding
that they
it.
described it at first, it sounded like she was hiding in a crate with her clothes like over her so that she couldn't
Yeah.
be seen. Because it was sort of
Mm,
described as I'm hiding in my corsets. And I'm like, but if you were hiding in your corsets and you're in a like a like a secret cubby hole behind a bookshelf, like
Yeah.
why
Why'd you
did you
bring all
take
that
all of
shit?
your clothes in there? Like it's not like the pirates are gonna steal your corsets. And if they are, well then they're different kind of pirates.
Mhm.
A lady needs a
Alyssa,
change of clothes. What if guests come around?
well,
Very
Alyssa, were you
fair.
going to say something about
and
the
her
mermaid?
clothes were specifically prepared for those guests. I mean, if you remember the description in the book, like that's where she hid all her knives and
Hmm.
Sorry, yes, Alyssa.
Oh no,
Yes, mermaids.
I was mermaids.
Mermaids.
Mermaids. That was weird. The whole if you drink the blood of a mermaid, you lose your memory, and
Get
that was
high.
just some weird kind of mojo in there.
I think they tied it. I thought they tied it nicely at the end where they made it a bit clearer. Like they'd hinted at it at the beginning, but at the end they made it clearer that the mermaids are the memories of the sea, and the memories perhaps of people who've died at the sea or what have you. And therefore, if you go and drink their blood, you'll get all these cool visions and hallucinations at the expense of your memory. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like
okay,
your
from
brain
that
can
point of
only hold
view.
so much, and that your brain's now been flooded with all this shit that the mermaids were holding, and so now you can't remember your own stuff, or maybe
Mm.
not distinguish between your own actual memories and all the mermaids' memories.
yeah. And there's a bit of a common thread there with stories, the stories of the mermaids, stories of the seas, and the stories of the spells.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it does feel like it's the currency of the world, so to speak.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I like that stretch of world building to the extent I understand it, or regardless of understanding it. But that was good. And yes, the stories in the spells and the way Zenobia taught spells, you ensorcel things by sharing your story and making a connection or something.
Mm.
That was kind of cool and touching. Um, and how you have to be like exposed to whatever you're casting spells on, and you have to be vulnerable to it. That was nice.
Although the water having memory, I've read that story before. Olaf.
hmm.
I watched that story today.
How so? What are you referring to?
Frozen
So
2,
Olaf from
that's
Frozen.
Oh,
Olaf's whole
Got
thing
it.
through Frozen 2 that water has memory.
Right, right. I didn't watch Frozen 2. Thank you.
Our 3-year-old was home
We have a
today.
3-year-old.
A much sweeter telling of the particular water and memory story.
Yes, a little bit different. Although it got quite dark too.
I know,
Mm.
then he dies. He comes back, but he dies and it's, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dark.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
kidding.
sorry for spoiling the kids' movie that's like 4 years old.
Oh no.
I was about to say like E.T., but maybe some of you haven't seen that
Wait, he's an extraterrestrial? What?
either. um,
I was really when we were the witch. I was It was interesting to see. Like I thought she was gonna like do something to the guy that came to try and get her to make Evelyn fall in love with him. And
Yeah,
like I thought when he turned away from her that she was like gonna stand up and like, bewitch him or something. But she kind of just lay there and I'm like, so did being a witch give you no power, like extra energy power? Like, is it really just that you're an old woman that can make spells? Like, because so often witches get extra sort of not so much strength, but they have more energy to sort of take on sort of things. So it
I
was interesting to
you
see that
mean
it was
after
really
after
just
Inoue hit her, like, and she would?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought she was like feigning that she was that injured and that she was gonna get up with like a spell and like sort of get him to do something or bewitch him or something.
That felt kind of consistent though with the fact that witching is reduced to the exchange, the exchange of one story for another for,
Mm.
to change the world. Like, at no point does she really seem actually to be individually extraordinary, nor in any of the stories are the witches individually extraordinary. But they wield a spell which has extraordinary results,
Mm.
and there is a trade paid for that.
Yeah, the trade part was interesting. I really liked the bit with like making the food, and then it's like the thing she gave up to be able to make the food was her own appetite, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's useful. I mean, it's useful if you want to feed somebody else, but it'd not be a great way to stop yourself from starving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a cool Stone Soup episode in there if you haven't read it yet, Mel. That was kind of
Oh,
cool.
see.
And even a direct Stone Soup reference.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know how towards the end, like Zenobia the witch is trying to call out to Flora / Florian, that song that is your song. Did they actually sing it at any point? Because I was trying to remember what the words of that song were, but all I remember is that at one point the witch asked Florian to sing, and their response was, "I only have one song." They were the words actually provided, or the story of that song provided at any point?
I think I remember the singing happening because I remember being like, oh, the narrator's just going to say the words and not sing them. But I can't remember what they were. But I remember the narrator actually saying the words.
Oh, okay.
Well, do you? Because I don't.
Like, damn it, you should have sung it. But then it's like there's no tune to sing to, so I get why. But
And singing works less fine in reading books.
yeah, that's true.
So what were the words,
I
Kirsten? Do you
can't
remember?
remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was in there. But like, unless I can find it in here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm flicking now myself because I seem to remember something about that.
The only thing that stuck in my brain was like, I was like, oh, I wonder, like when they were about to sing, I was like, oh, I wonder if the audiobook person will actually sing. And then they were like, they said the
Okay.
words, but
Found it.
Oh yeah.
oh, good job,
Oh.
Mel.
Oh, you're
Oh
quick.
yes,
Okay.
please.
No, Mermaid caught returned to sea by witch taught to be free. Two souls bound by love by knife, true love found, restored to life. Two souls fight for love to be, true love's might to save the sea.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's the song. Yeah, it's the only song she knew. So yeah.
Wow. Two souls bound by knife too.
Yeah,
Mm.
see, is that talking about the brother?
Yeah, is it talking
Yeah.
about the brother? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that part of the story was really interesting too, because like on one hand, you could kind of get why Flora was like, I'm sick of my brother fucking things up. But, I liked that she
if he
went back for him
wasn't
in the
such a
end because I
fuck up,
felt
then he
really
wouldn't be
bad for
fucking
him
things
when he
up.
got whipped and
Well, I mean, he probably wouldn't have gotten whipped if he was awake and on duty when he was supposed to be,
yeah.
because then he would have been with the other pirates and
I
could
know.
have been
And
like, well, I was with them.
And that's what I found interesting was like I kept being in two minds about him of between feeling sorry for him because obviously a lot of his issues were because of his past trauma and also being like I would be super fucking frustrated with him as well, so it's like, oh, and I guess
I
that's
mean, he's
the thing
supposed to be
with
your big brother,
too,
and
right?
like you're the one that's taking on this stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
he
what I was
drank
about
the
to say. How are
money.
you letting your 10-year-old sister, Mel, cover your ears, cut off ears so that you can join a pirate crew? Like, grow a pair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the big brother.
Like, and I understand that you weren't killing anyone to get those ears, but still, like, that's not a great thing to be letting your very small 10-year-old sister to do, and that you're standing there just too scared to do it. I'm like, you're joining a pirate crew. This is not the worst thing you're going to be doing.
Mm.
The one thing Alfie knows about doing is to suffer, and he suffers to protect his sister as much as he can, and he can't figure
Yeah.
out anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. He can only protect her by suffering for her, but he can't actually. I don't think he's got any strength in him left, maybe, to act. Yeah. Maybe.
I'm going to duck out. I'm very tired and I have some things on my plate tonight. Nice to see you all. Bye.
Bye, Alyssa.
No
Nice
worries,
to
see
see you.
Liz.
I suppose in some respects it makes for a dimensional character in that, like I only really was at the early stages, so I didn't see all of his story by any means. But the fact that he had that sort of push and pull, like it wasn't just that he was all bad and all frustrating. He had other sides to him, and and the trauma and things like that of what he'd been through. It's sort of like made for an interesting character. I actually kind of found him the most interesting out of them that I saw from the earlier stages.
Yeah.
Not that I liked him.
Cool.
That was not the right
Yeah,
word I would use to describe my feelings.
no, fair. Oh dear.
I wonder whether, I don't know if anybody knows whether there's going to be other books following this one, because I could see it
It's
happen.
already there's one
It
out.
it
Oh, is
really
there?
felt like
Oh,
it.
cool.
Hmm.
I don't know
Yeah, when I
how if it
was
continues the
Sorry
story,
about
if it's
that.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it continues the story or if it's just in the same world though. So I just saw
Well, I
that there was
mean,
a second in the series.
they've set it up for Genevieve, haven't they?
Yeah.
well, the
Yeah.
second book is called The Siren, the Song, and the Spy. So,
Oh.
Oh, yep.
Oh, I'd say yes.
so I'd say yes, the spy is probably Genevieve.
Yeah, that makes
I'd
sense.
probably read that. I didn't really like Genevieve very much, I think, but I do feel like she's probably got a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah,
So
I think she's one of those characters that I actually really enjoy it when an author can make me hate a character at the beginning and then make me like them later. And I feel like she's got that kind of potential because she's
Yeah,
very naive.
absolutely.
And a lot of her problem is because she's naive and she's basically just believed what she's been told. So it'll be interesting. It would be interesting to see her kind of wake up to what's going on and change her view. And I would find that really interesting to read.
Yes, I find her I've drunk all the Kool-Aid very irritating.
Mm. It's probably a little bit too closely aligned to reality in some regards.
how do you mean?
There's a lot of instances of people who don't have living memory of things that have happened, of lessons learnt, of the truth of how things came to be.
Yeah.
And Genevieve reeks of all of it. So
Yes, very much. Just it seems like, oh, well, they said that it wasn't too bad when they took over, and surely it wasn't as bad as these few people are trying to say, and everything's better now because we've got paved roads. Like, really? Does that make it better that you're like subservient to this other country? Because that's what
Well,
it is. Like
even
they
what's her name?
Yeah.
Lady Spy
air.
Lady, yeah, said that she was bloodthirsty for someone who hadn't actually been around a whole lot of death or anything. So, she is very immature.
Was she supposed to be all of what, 15?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
15, but looks like she's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, which probably means she's a very young 15.
I'd be interested to read more about the Pirate Supreme and the big Leviathan ship and all of that as well. If that I would
I
assume the sequel would be going in that direction.
Yeah.
Just having read the synopsis for the second book off of Reads, it sounds like they're going to dive well and truly into that. So
Oh, okay.
it does sound like it's a fairly not necessarily dead direct, but very connected
Might have
sequel.
to put it
So
on my TBR.
yeah,
Mm.
tempted.
I liked the way that they handled the Pirate Supreme. Like, it wasn't weird that they were a
Were
they. It wasn't
they?
weird that, no one really knew if, they just that they presented as they. They weren't particularly feminine or masculine. And that, it wasn't like a detriment to them. Like, they were just the Pirate Supreme. Like, that was just who they were.
I think it added to the mystery a little bit
Mm.
of the lore of the Pirates Supreme that they are neither male nor female.
They're definitely
Mm.
written as more of a mythic or sort of thinking of a folk story or a
Legend.
mythic
Yeah.
a legendary presence or mythic presence than a person. And I think there also the whole revelation about who the Pirate Supreme really is in
Yes,
relation to
Zenobia's lover,
yeah
Zoan, I think.
and that he was the price for past magic helps I think fuel that to some extent.
The parallel then, I saw that parallel and wondered if there was going to be some bizarre time shift because Florian being basically a pirate and potentially being a they them in love with Evelyn. um I just wondered if there was going to be some strange kind of parallel where one of them becomes the Pirate Supreme number 2 and the other becomes the witch or something. But
They became mermaids instead.
yes, I do feel sorry for the mermaid in the oasis in the middle of the desert. I kind of want to go and find her and her, and rescue them. Oh, they say daughter. I want to go find her and rescue her.
I was going to say, it sounds like all mermaids are female. Like, they're born as daughters of the
Daughters of
sea.
the Sea.
Mm. Mm. Which was nice that they extended a hand to Flora, because Flora kind of is very fluid with how they present. They
Yeah.
don't
Mm,
mind what pronouns are used, that a hand was extended to them. Like, it was
mm.
really nice that, they got to be, they got to, like, we did get a happy ending, even if it wasn't the happy ending that they kind of wanted. Like, they got to be together.
Yeah, that was nice because I was like, oh, I can see that the mermaid's gonna come and save Evelyn, but then that didn't happen. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, she's gonna be a mermaid, and I thought they'd be separated because of that. But the bit when the mermaids came to get Flora, and it's like it reminded me of Moana, with the sea in Moana is like goes up and
With
in
all the
the
Yep.
ghosts.
yeah, that was kind of what I was picturing in my head.
It was interesting that she said that one of them reminded her of her mother. Like, I would be interested in a story of whether or not the one that kind of looks like her mother, is it her mother? Like, because it
Oh,
sounds like women who are returned to the sea can get reborn into a mermaid. Like, I would be interested if, because I assumed that because Flora/Florian is magic touched, that she's gotten it from somewhere. Like,
mm,
that's something that either came from their mother or their father. It, it had to cut. Like, it sounds like, I imagine it came from somewhere, and I'd be interested if it's from your mother. Does that mean that your mother was also magic touched, and that she may have also become a mermaid, or is it just that you're seeing your mother's face in someone else?
Mm.
mm.
Like, I'd like to know more about the mermaid, so I I'd be interested. I don't know if I will read the second book, but I wouldn't say definitely not, but it's maybe.
Yeah. Was it um was it a picture in a book that or was on the cover of the book that Evelyn had where there was the sailor and the mermaid reaching for each other but couldn't quite connect?
I think it was one of the books when
She was
she was teaching
she
Florian to
Yes.
read.
Actually, I
yeah.
just can't remember if it was the cover or if it was illustration in the book. Yeah.
I really thought it was going to become that, the whole
Mm.
the mermaid and the sailor pirate out of
Hmm.
reach of each other. Yeah. So when it actually became, oh no, they are going to be together forever, just not the way they imagined. It was like, oh, okay. I didn't think they were going to go that way. Yeah. Yeah.
I I find I'm thinking about Flora's transition, um, because it was entirely imposed on her from without. Women aren't pirates, and if you kill one of the prisoners, you'll be a pirate and ergo male, and we'll start referring to you as male. And Flora uh, sort of discovered Florian after that,
Mm.
um, just as a way to operate in the world that he found himself in. And that, I don't know that I have any particularly insightful thoughts, but that was a fascinating bit of person reacting to the world. And
Mm.
In some
Yeah.
respects, I think it has a little bit of commentary on how some people in the past would dress as trans, in that they were considered to be doing it not because they can thought themselves male, but because it helped them to go through the world in a way that they wanted to. Um, Whether that's the case or not is obviously hard to say because it was
mm,
history and you can't talk to the person. Um,
yeah,
but it's often how it would be interpreted rather than assuming that they were actually trans.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
The same with Laura, at the end of the book, they were sort of, I don't care if you call me she or he or they, I am happy with all of it. I wonder how much of that is because they really just don't care, and how much of that is,
Uh,
I see myself as Florian, this pirate that killed someone, and I also see myself as Flora, this witch.
I actually
Like,
think that
I
was
am
a critical
both and
part.
neither.
I think that was actually a critical part of her healing and becoming whole with the witch, with Zenobia. Like there's this whole thing about the fact that Zenobia is making a point that she's not whole or she's broken, and gives her the piece of the looking glass.
Mm.
Oh, that was interesting. I can't remember the looking glass very well. What happened with that?
Yeah, it was Zenobia's last task to her was to mend the looking glass. She no, sorry, didn't give it to her. Sorry, Evelyn had it. Anyway,
No, no. Oh, she.
she had the
Yeah, no, no.
fragment.
It was to Flora, and Flora had it in her pocket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And overheard the conversation between Inoue and Zenobia, and realized that Evelyn had not actually just left, but that Zenobia had effectively handed Evelyn over, and the fury that burned inside Flora Florian when that happened, the glass shard like heated up in her pocket with as if the pain and the fury that she felt was actual heat,
yeah.
and
I
then
felt
the
though,
glass it mended the shard went like the mirror mended of looking glass mended. Yeah.
and I feel like the way that was written though gave me an impression that it was partially also symbolic of the separation between Flora and Florian. And and the mirror, sorry, the looking glass, what I want to call it, the mirror's mending was a reconciliation of that, and Laura accepting that no, they are one and the same.
So are you suggesting that Florian was starting to sort of see themselves as almost a split personality
Yeah,
until that healing moment?
yeah, I think there's hints that there's definitely a rift. Like, Florian is who she is to survive on the pirate ship, and that is distinctly separate for quite a bit of the book from Flora. Alfie's sister. So
It makes me think of Smeagol and Gollum.
Wasn't that kind of what Naomi was saying though? Was that what you were saying, Naomi, about how Florian was saying they can be all of it? Or did I
Yeah,
miss your point?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's actually more of a crux of it. It's like, there's this. It feels like there's this point where the writer was trying to make it to draw the impression that no, is it the acceptance? She's now accepted it, and this is how I'm now empowered her.
That I don't have to make a choice. I don't have to be one or the other. I can
Yeah.
be both, and that's okay.
You're muted.
Yeah, I just realized even the fact that the witch almost scoffed at Flora, like has that moment where the witch calls him Florian, and he goes, "Oh, hang on a minute. I am Florian and also Flora." And then the witch is like, "No, you are both, and people have been both, and it's not unique to you." Was almost like permission to exist that they hadn't really considered before.
In some respects, I suppose that reflects the reality sometimes of what people feel like. It's when we find terminology that's being created out there that we feel some sort of sense of validation and things and how we have felt internally.
Yeah.
Not for everybody, but for some.
Mm. Yeah.
Well,
Are we
does anyone
finished?
else have anything they would like to add? Or anything else that they would like to talk about in the book?
I don't think so.
I couldn't not see Zenobia as
Wait. Before you say it, I'm going to say how I pictured her because I
yeah,
want to
go.
see if it's the same. Because I was picturing Mother Gothel from
No.
Tangled.
No, Yubaba from Spirited Away's
Yes.
sister is oh, now I've lost it. Zaniba. And
Geneva, yeah.
so
Yes,
because their names were so similar, I couldn't not picture Zaniba the whole time.
I didn't think of that. That actually is
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, I actually, Witches Abroad, when they go, when Nanny Og and Granny Weatherwax go abroad, and they end up in this sort of uh, um, kind of Cajun kind of environment, like place that's sort of pseudo sort of Cajun cooking, and that they meet a witch there who makes a gumbo. I think it's a gumbo. Yeah, I feel like it was that. I saw that witch when I saw Zenobia.
Oh, now you're really trying to pull from my memory to
I
remember that.
know,
I cannot.
same, because I've read that, but I'm going, which one is that? You have to tell me which one. Like, is it
Because
the Macbeth
she's in
one
a
or is
hut in
it
like
the
the
Which witch is
bayou.
it?
Yeah, and they
I've
go,
It's
yeah,
before
and the whole
Maggie
thing.
gets married, and they go off on a trip together, and yeah. But that's about as much as I can remember of it.
Because
Neither
the
one?
gumbo was key, like the soup, the gumbo was key. Because if you wanted to get a reading or like a spell from this particular witch, you had to start by taking a bowl of gumbo. I
Thank you,
think that
Lisa, for reminding me that it's probably time for me at some point to go and do a reread of the Witches series
yes,
out of
I,
Terry
I
Pratchett.
think I think I got exactly the same message from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I
like,
still
clearly
haven't
it's been
finished
too
reading all the
long.
Tiffany Aching ones. I'm like, I need to go
I,
and do that.
I, I
Yeah, I'm working
vaguely,
on the Industrial Revolution ones, and
Oh,
I'm not through them yet either.
I'm pretty sure some of the Witches books were some of the first I read. So of this world novel. So and that would have been 20 something years ago. So
I tried to read Color of Magic first. That was a mistake.
everyone says that. I've never tried that one. Everyone says don't start with it, and I haven't tried that one.
I've heard that when it's not your first one, it's not that bad, and that people enjoy it. I haven't gone back and tried it, so I can't speak from personal experience, but that's what I understand. I then went on to read The Witches because that was why I was interested in the first place.
The first one I
oh,
read was The We Free Men, which was the first Tiffany Aching one. And then I went to the other witches ones and I never came back to Tiffany Aching. And I'm like, I really should read those.
mm,
is it I Shall Wear Midnight? I think is the
Yeah, that's
yeah.
one of them.
yeah.
I can't remember what they
If
all are.
if it wasn't the Witches I read first, then it was The Last Continent.
Oh,
Um
that's a good one.
Maybe we
I
should do like a 2026 challenge. Let's read The Witches.
I yeah, we digress, I guess. I was just going to say
Yeah,
Color of
sorry.
Magic. That was on
People know to
me.
expect this of us by now, surely.
Yeah. Color of Magic and Light Fantastic were the first two I read, but I was a poor uni student at the time. And at that stage, our uni, you could use the gym for free. And I read them the whole time I was basically on one of those exercise machines. And I was laughing out loud. Possibly I was being affected by the endorphins of exercise. I don't know. But I do remember thinking, I'm laughing way too loud for being in the gym, and someone's going to tell me to keep it down in a minute, or to at least start making grunty noises or something.
Give Terry Pratchett his due. You were laughing at him because he's fucking funny.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was those first two. I remember that. So
I haven't gone back and rechecked Color of Magic and Light Fantastic. I think that they're fine, well done novels, but in the old mode of fantasy that hadn't figured out that women are people and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that even with the Witches one, I actually read Weird Sisters first because I didn't know there was one before that one. Because this was before the internet was around to tell you things.
Yeah,
The
which is
old
why if they
magic.
didn't have the list of books in the front of the book, you were screwed to work out what book you were supposed to read
Yeah.
first, because you're
Mhm.
like, I don't know which book is first. Like,
And
And
I'd seen the Weird Sisters cartoon movie, and so I got interested. Went and read the first one. Went whoa, and so went and read it. But it didn't tell you in the front of the book, like even when it had the list, like the different series
no,
inside
it
of
kind
it.
of
Like
just gives it in chronological order of his releases. It doesn't
yeah.
really
yeah,
give a, this is the Weird Sisters and this is Death and this
yeah,
is this and yeah.
yeah. So yeah. But anyway, definitely. Well, I mean, anyway, got to reread them at some point.
I
And no,
need to
I'm
go.
not going back to Color of Magic. It's trauma now.
Very fair. Very fair.
Anything else on the book, guys?
Oh, I don't think so.
I liked the mermaid mythology and the sea mythology. I love a big sea spirit. I was reminded very much of Green Witch from the Dark is Rising series. Um, yeah, no, it's good, nice story.
I enjoyed the mermaids were like your siren, creepy kind of mermaids more than the
Yes,
beautiful
yeah,
Little Mermaid kind of mermaids. Like,
I also really enjoyed the fact that they were beautiful in the water, but then the moment you took them out of the water, they weren't beautiful anymore.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and that they like to drink your blood.
Yes.
Also a nice touch.
I thought it was hilarious that she was like, "Oh, I tried apples and cheese and soba noodles," and I'm like, where is a mermaid going to get cheese or an apple or soba noodles? Like
Where are you getting
fish, I
soba
understand,
noodles?
crab, I understand,
Yep.
nori, I understand, but like, where is a mermaid going to get cheese from? Are they going to milk a fish to like
A
make
sea
their
cow.
fishy cheese?
I was just about to say that's why they're called sea cows.
Nice one.
But you know
I
what I
did
mean,
like.
like cheese or an apple. Like, where are they going to get an
Yeah.
apple from?
Did you like the way Naomi, like when she like slapped the food away?
Like, I'm disgusted with you.
Oh, get that out of here!
Don't be so stupid.
Disgusting offering.
Yes, we must thank the mermaid for mimicking our, for following through on our thoughts at that point.
Yes, if we are all finished.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, next month we are reading Children of Time, which is Shane's pick.
Yes, indeed. For mid-August, I think the 15th.
Yes.
That's going to be a fun time.
Oh, absolutely. Not quite an adventure. That's the second book. But see you then, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.